Welcome back. This is John, and I want to talk to you a little bit today about what happened at the 2007 Mr. Olympia. I'm telling you, man, I checked some of these pictures out, some video. Wow. Can you just say, one of the most ripped off bodybuilders of all time, Mr. Martinez. I mean, this guy had everything going into the show. Not only did he have everything as far as body parts went, and you'll see in the comparisons that I'm about to show you, but you're also going to see that he was in shape. Dude was in shape. I mean, ripped from head to toe. There was not a body part lacking, and he was tight from head to toe with beautiful proportions, and he was huge. So what happened? Well, we had the little problem of Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler, you see, was the 2006 Mr. Olympia. He was the reigning Mr. Olympia going into 2007. The problem is that in bodybuilding, much like boxing, we still have this knockout mentality that you got to knock out the champ if you're going to beat the champ, which is just about stupid as can be, okay? It's as stupid as it gets. Basically, the contest itself, if I'm a judge, which I have judged many shows over the years, if I'm a judge and I'm to judge any show, I'm judging what is up on the stage right then, at that moment, in front of me. I'm not judging on potential. I'm not judging on what the guy looked like last year. I'm not judging on the guy's reputation. I'm not judging on how nice of a guy he is, right? I'm not judging even on how much of a dick the guy may be. Because, shoot, there have been situations where some guy may have, had a little bit of a run-up or a situation just before stepping on stage. I've heard stories about guys that were asked for their autograph, and they were kind of a dick about it. And then they find themselves up on stage, and the very next time they see somebody is right there in the judging pit, that same guy that they were rude to, because it happened to be one of the judges of the show. Now, that's happened before, okay? Situations like that. I've had my own situations where I was in the Natural World Championships, and I'm at the weigh-ins, at the scales, and there's a guy sitting right next to the scales. I chose not to say anything to him. I chose to keep my mouth shut. Boy, don't you realize, wow, how cool it was when I step up on stage, and next thing you know, I'm looking down at the row of judges, and there he is, sitting right there. I was so glad that I was neutral. I chose not to say anything. I chose not to be rude. Either way, I just kept my mouth shut. But I digress. Let's get back to Jay Cutler versus Mr. Martinez, okay? In the 07 Mr. Olympia, look, let's take it pose by pose. Front double bicep.
In this shot, you can see that Victor has amazing shape to his upper body. A great V-taper, muscle everywhere with great shape to all body parts. And he does come down on his abs to accentuate that tiny waist. His legs are very hard and defined. Jay, on the other hand, wide from the hips, the shoulders. You can look at this picture right here with Victor. He's just V-taper all the way. So Jay goes straight up and down, while Victor, he gets very artsy with his poses like this double bicep right here, and he looks very good from all angles. So I go with Victor on this one.
All right, so you see, right? Jay, soft as a baby's behind, well, on the front end, his legs especially. Soft, there's something going on with one of his legs too. I don't know what it was, but it looked like he may have injured it one way or another, but he had an injury. Water retention everywhere. He was just plain off. He was just off. And here we have Victor, ripped, solid as a rock, looking great, okay? Let's take a look now. And oh, by the way, Victor, in that front double bicep, abs, tiny waist, beautiful shape. Like I said, Jay, kind of straight up and down. I don't like it myself. Front lat spread.
So the thing that's obvious is that both of these guys are just plain huge, and they have full development in all body parts. So there's no real weak body parts, but you can see clearly how Jay is retaining fluid throughout his entire upper body, and this shot right here shows it so much. Victor, on the other hand, V-taper, hard, very hard. I like this for Victor.
And you see, I mean, Jay, very, very soft, head to toe, very soft. For reigning Mr. Olympia, you kind of expect they want to come on back the second year out and really kill it. come in even way better than they did the first time. But Victor, on the other hand, hard as nails. Obviously, he was really hungry that year to take the title. Hard as nails, again, top to bottom, from the front. Deep separation in the quads. Maybe not the deepest of all time, but deeper than Jay's, for sure. With better shape, in my opinion. So I give that pose to Victor as well. So now we're at 2-0 for Jay. 2 for Victor, 0 for Jay. All right, side chest.
This shot, more than any other one, I call even, only because Jay is not having to show his body from front on or rear straight on, so his waist doesn't look big. He has very wide shoulders, which accentuate the shot for him. So I call it even, but I give the slight edge to Jay on this one shot.
And you see, Jay, we can make the case, looks good. He looks good. Maybe you could make the case and even give him that one, okay, because he looks really good in the side chest pose. Victor looks really good as well. I'm all about, like I said, that hardness factor too, even from the side of the leg, side of the glute. So, myself, I would be one of those judges that would be 3-0 right now. 3 Victor, 0 for Jay. But let's be fair and say the majority of the judging panel is still going by those old school rules of you got to knock out the champ. So we're going to call that 2 Victor, 1 Jay. All right, side tricep.
This is another shot that I see very close between the two of them. Notice the theme. Anytime that Jay doesn't have to show his blockiness through his waist, he does go neck and neck with Victor. I'll even call this just a total dead heat on this one. I can't give either one of them the upper hand, so I just call it even.
And you see, that one's a toss-up to me, okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call that one an even, so I'm going to stick it still with 2 Victor, 1 Jay. So far, I have Victor looking like Mr. Olympia in 2007. All right, so competitors, now they've turned around and they're showing the back. Let's go. Back double bicep.
While Jay has more mass in his upper back than Victor does, he's just too watery and soft to really show it off. So again, I give this one to Victor because he's in shape and he's big all across with great shapes. So I give this back double bicep to Victor.
And this one's all day long, Victor, all day long, Victor. So I got to give it 3-1. Jay's too soft down below. He's big, but too soft. And I think Victor has better glutes, quads, hams, calves, all from behind. I give it all to him, okay? So 3-1, okay, in favor of Victor. Did I say 3-1 for the bicep, front lat spread? Yep, 3-1. Back lat spread.
This shot, more than any other, shows how just really wide Jay is. He's wider than Victor in the back, but also the problem is in the waist, the hips, everything else. But Victor, hard as nails, great density, great width, small waist, tight in the lower body. Jay, just watery in that whole lower body. Again, I give this one to Victor.
All right. This one, I call it a toss-up for the reasons I just mentioned. So I don't like that Jay is just so soft from behind. He's so soft from behind. So I'm changing my mind. I'm going with 4-1 Victor. That one's not a toss-up. I'm giving it to Victor. Back double bicep, back lat spread. Front double bicep, front lat spread. The side shots, one's a toss-up and one's for Jay. I got a 4-1. All right, they turn around and face the front. Abdominals and thigh.
Victor hits this shot perfectly with a tiny waist with high definition. Jay, on the other hand, has got a problem with flexing his abdominals correctly to show off a small waist. This is the best shot I could find of him anywhere on his abs, and even then, it just looks wrong. I give this one to Victor.
Victor, all day long. I got it 5-1 for all the reasons I just mentioned. So I have it 5-1 Victor in the direct comparisons. He's killing him right now, folks. He's killing him. All right, this is Mr. Olympia over here, Victor. So one more pose, the most muscular. Now, this is usually Jay's shot. I mean, he does a great crab most muscular.
Unfortunately, the shot also highlights how soft he is across his upper body, and Victor takes that one, as well as the one hand on hip one right here. Again, Victor all day. I give this one to him as well. And hey, take a look at this shot with both hands on the hip. You could hand him the Mr. Olympia trophy right there next to him right there in that shot, and I'd be satisfied with it, because that is a Mr. Olympia look right there, 100%. So these are some reasons why I see he had it together, even on the most muscular shot, which is usually a Jay's strong point.
Okay, that most muscular, whether we're talking about the crab most muscular or the hands on hip most muscular, it pulls out everything. You can be big and massive. They're both big and massive guys. However, we come down to who's showing the most detail with that size. And again, I have to go with Victor. I'm calling that a 6-1 Victor. This guy's wiped him out so far. So, in my opinion, as I was saying from the beginning, this is one of the most robbed bodybuilders of all time. Victor, in 2007, Victor Martinez, he should be going down in history as the 2007 Mr. Olympia if the parameters apply to every contest. If we drop that knockout the champ mentality, okay? Myself, I look at a champ or anybody coming up on the stage, especially if he's the champ and he's been there before and he comes in soft like Jay did that year. Wow, I have even less inclination to score him up. I have more inclination to score him down, if anything. So that's me personally. So I like the guys that appreciate where they are, remain hungry, come back year after year, and they hammer it. I mean, they come in to destroy, like with that Dorian attitude. They just want to annihilate everybody and not take any prisoners. It's just over with, okay? So 2007 Mr. Olympia, I give it on a major landslide score, Victor Martinez. In second place, Jay Cutler. And that's my story for today. Hey, before you go, would you mind hitting that thumbs up button on the left, and all the way to the right, you have a subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to my channel. Thank you. Appreciate you from my heart to you, John Hart.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button below before you leave.